YouTube? I'm back. So today's YouTube video is going to be Sex Talk 101, episode 39, and that's going to be called Women with Respect versus Women with Disrespect. I guess we can shorten the title to It's Not Women's Words, It's Women's Actions. And then in the description, I'll put women of respect versus women of disrespect, who you should have sex with. Because you see, about 80 to 82% of us men, we fall victim to this. This is not just black men. This is for all men. This is for men from the ages of 18 to 29. And I'm going to extend it and say from the age of 18 to 35. Because a co-worker at my job told me he would love for the age limit to be removed from 29 and bump it up to 35. So for this video, we're going to say men from the ages of 18 to 35 years old. So it doesn't matter if you're a black man, a white man, an Asian man, a Latino man. Doesn't matter if you're from Russia, Germany, Paris, France. Doesn't matter if you're from planet Vegeta. I know some people are going to say, come on, man, don't bring Dragon Ball Z into the discussion. I'm serious. It doesn't matter if you're from planet Mars, Venus, or planet Vegeta. This is for men for the ages of 18 to 35 years of age. Now, the vast majority of us love women. We like black women, white women, Latino women, Asian women. We like foreign women. We like women that's mixed. But there is one small little problem that me, you, and a lot of us do not want to accept. We don't want to accept the realization that even though some women are beautiful and attractive, they are just downright mean-spirited, cold, downright disrespectful bitches. And you see, the reason why we don't like to accept that reality is because we want to bypass it and look at the beauty of a woman and not try to look at the fact that she's got a cold exterior. Like when you go to work, there are a lot of guys that try to hit on their co-workers at work because, you know, she got a big ass, a big breast, you know, she got them killer thighs, them long legs, them nice cheekbones in the face structure, and then she get that look like, motherfucker, get your ass away from me. Hey, it happened to me at my workplace. You know, I have plenty of girls that look at me and say, just because you're a nice, handsome man, don't mean I'm gonna fuck you. And some guys get offended by that because they be like, well, why are you talking to me? Because it's our job and it requires communication, so I have to do that. And that happens everywhere you go. And a lot of men can't stand it when they see a basketball player, a football player, a baseball player, a bodybuilder, or a weightlifter come into the store, and that same female co-worker who told you to fuck off, well, she doesn't do that to those guys because those guys are rich and famous, or as Big Boss Calvin 83 just loves to put it on YouTube, money, looks, and status. Or you can say 20% of men. Now, people might say, what the hell is 20% of men? Guys that are rich, guys that are in television and film that are actors, you know, rappers, R&B singers, rock stars, athletes, and professional sports. Or he's a film director, he's a film producer. Those high status men. People like George Clooney, Leonardo DiCaprio, for an example, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, those are high status men. And when these guys come into these places, 99.99%, they are loved, revealed, and my favorite word, respected. And guys like me and you, on an occasion, can get that. But other guys struggle with that idea because it's not fair that I work at a place 5 days a week or 6 days a week or 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and I gotta get subject to being disrespected by a beautiful, attractive woman. Yeah, it happens. I'm just trying to tell you, it happens everywhere you go. Work, the gym, school. I don't care if you go to the movies. I don't care if you go to a sports bar. some woman is going to disrespect you. And a lot of us don't like to accept that reality because it's too painful to accept. Now, I'm here to give you some shocking answers to this problem, because a lot of guys are like, somebody just give me the damn answer already so I can fix it. Now, there's two types of women. There's respectful women, and then there's disrespectful women. Now, some of us have a hard time making the distinction between a woman who's beautiful and respectful and a woman who's beautiful but disrespectful. We think they're the same. And I know why you guys think that, because a lot of times when you go on YouTube, somebody makes these videos and tell you women are the same. Good women, bad women. And I would say about that might be 55 to 65% true, that there is that case where it doesn't matter if she's a good girl or a bad girl. You can't tell no difference. But I'm here to explain why some guys have a hard time making that distinction. You see, what you have to understand is some part of a woman disrespecting you is a shit test. And when we get closer to Valentine's Day, I will make some videos leading up to Valentine's Day on YouTube and on Facebook, because some jackass decided to fuck up my YouTube channel and my Gmail account. So I'm going to be dropping a lot of YouTube videos on YouTube and on Facebook until somehow my viewers, my subscribers, subscribe to this channel, which it's going to take a long time for them to catch on. I got a new channel and a new email account, and a lot of them probably might just watch the video and not subscribe, because it's like, I already subscribed to you on your other channels. Why would I want to do it again? But for those that want to subscribe, you're welcome to subscribe. Now, what I'm trying to say is that part of them rolling their eyes, the nasty attitude, them talking down to you, them talking shit to you, look at that as a shit test. And when I say in the next video, I'm going to make a video called a shit test, there's two types of shit tests, because a lot of men are stuck on, well, women play mind games. And then some people try to tell you, well, that's mind games, but this is a shit test. And some guys want to say there's a difference between mind games and a shit test. And some guys might say there's no damn difference, it's the same shit. But we'll get to that in another video. In this video, there's two types of women. Now, both women are going to give you a shit test. That's without question. Now, me, you, The Undertaker, we don't like shit tests. Because a lot of men say, well, why do I have to take a woman's shit test to prove to a woman that I'm a real man? If I can get a house or an apartment, I already showed you that I'm a real man. If I got a car and I have 2 jobs, I already showed you I'm a real man. So what do you need to test me for? What is it that you're trying to see? What is it that you're trying to find? And usually about 85 to 90% of the time, women will tell you what they're trying to get and what they're trying to look for. But on a subconscious level, they're not going to directly 100% just straight out open their mouth and tell you what they really looking for, because that could hurt your feelings, or something better than hurting your feelings. They can fuck up your ego. Oh yeah, we have egos. A lot of us be calling ourselves the king of the world. A lot of us think we are the man. Woo! The nature boy! I just had to do that. A lot of times we have egos. And women understand that our egos is very fragile. You just take a nice big giant rock and throw it and it will break like glass. So a lot of women are a little reluctant, not necessarily afraid, but reluctant to open their mouth and just straight out tell you that I actually prefer a guy that has a car or a truck or a motorcycle. Or I prefer a guy that's between 6 feet to 6'2", 230 pounds, rock solid muscle with broad shoulders and 6-pack abs. And you just don't fit none of those descriptions. So some women are reluctant to say that. Some women at work will say, well, the reason why I'm not physically, sexually attracted to you is because I have a rule. I just don't date coworkers. And you might get mad and say, well, you did that with another guy that worked here. And the girl will say, well, he was the exception to the rule. And some guys might find that hypocrisy. They might find it to be as hypocritical. Because this guy can hang out with you, but I can't. And then some girls will say, well, I just want to be co-workers. I don't want nothing outside the workplace. And I don't want you talking to me. And then some guys go, how is it that that guy can talk to you, but I can't? Because, again, it goes back to what I said in my last video. Practice common practice. Now, a lot of women will insult your intelligence. About 90% of the time, they will insult your intelligence. And I'm here to give you the signs on how you can tell that this is a disrespectful bitch. You ever heard of the word called indifferent? Okay, that's where a girl has an opinion and a view about everything good and bad. You might love the Avengers, the very first Avenger film, giving you a clear example, and she might hate everything about the movie that there is to hate. And you might say, this movie got movie of the year, it's got the best actors in Hollywood, this movie kicks ass, it's great, it's the shit, why do you hate the Avengers? And she'll probably give you 5 or 10 reasons, whether they're logical or not logical, on why she fucking hates the movie. You might say, well, I hate Twilight. And she might say, well, Twilight's the shit. And you might say, what's your reason for liking Twilight? Well, she might say, well, because I just love Twilight. And you might say, there ain't no damn answer. Well, she could be indifferent. Now, a lot of times people want to say women that are fat, out of shape, low class, and average looking are indifferent. No, you got a case where there's some women that's very beautiful. I mean, drop dead gorgeous on this planet that can also be a stuck-up bitch. See, you can't just say, well, if the woman's 200 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds, okay, she a stuck-up bitch, because don't nobody talk to her. That is a case of that too, but a lot of times, these women are women that you see all the time. You have conversations. Even when a guy tries to start up a conversation, it could be where it's boring, no one's talking, and you be trying to talk to the girl, and the girl can get angry and upset because you're trying to somehow interest her into a conversation, and she probably giving you this look like, why in the hell do I want to talk to you when I'm not interested in anything you have offered to say? Translation, disrespectful bitch. Because she's basically making it hard for you to even interact with her. And to her, usually women from the age of 18 to 25, or in my case, I love to say from the age of 18 to 29, the vast majority of them, in order for them to want to have a conversation with you, you got to be able to have a good enough high level of social intelligence. I made a YouTube video on my old channel before it got fucked up, where it was called Intelligence versus Social Intelligence. That means it ain't just women challenging your mental capabilities, it's women trying to see how much do you know socially, in a good way and in a bad way. And if a woman feel like if she can't figure out, or she knows that your social capabilities are not that good, she's gonna say shit like, well, it was nice meeting you and have a good day. Translation, you don't know how to fucking talk. I don't want to talk to you at work. I just want you to work and just leave me alone. Now, she might look at you on an occasion and say, well, it's too bad that he can't talk to me. Or it sucks that I could talk to him. I should talk to him, but most likely I won't. Translation, disrespectful bitch. Because there's a right way and there's a wrong way to communicate to someone that you're not interested. And when a girl gets to rolling her eyes and rolling her damn neck and I'm too good to talk to you, that is another sign that she's being disrespectful to you. Because to her, you have to be on her level for her to even want to interact. You know, in those rap videos that all those rappers keep saying, well, I'm going to show this bitch who she talking to. Well, that's because the guy is dealing with a female that's indifferent and she's a bitch. And basically she's disrespecting him because in order for her to show him some proper respect, she feels like he has to demonstrate to her what she is looking for in the description. That means if she says, I want a guy that has a motorcycle and he listens to heavy metal music, well, she wants someone to demonstrate it, not talk about it. So the vast majority of women are disrespectful because you're talking about doing something, but you're not actually going out there and doing it. So like, let's say for an example, I walk up to a girl outside my job, and let's say I say, well, I got this shirt right here, and it says Alexander Zactaloni Film Production. Well, she understands that I design shirts. She understands that I made a shirt. But by the end of the day, to her, it's a shirt and she doesn't give a fuck. To her, if you say that you are what you say you are, then you would actually be doing action, not talking. A lot of women respect men who go out and do shit, not talk about it. Women have this huge disdain for any of us that all we do is talk about doing something, but never actually going out there and actually doing it. Like, there's two types of men. There's alpha males, there's a beta males. All a beta male men talk about is achieving greatness, but never actually ever going out there to achieve greatness. Alpha males are guys that say, you know what? Who gives a damn if this girl don't like me? I'm going out here, I'm kicking ass, I'm taking names, I'm going to make some shit happen, and if she get on the board with my program, great. If she don't, fuck her. Some guys have that attitude. And the women that are disrespectful, they find that physically, sexually attractive a lot of times because you don't give a damn that you don't get the girl. And sometimes you might have to piss the girl off just to prove to her that you're not going to stand for no bullshit. So that's how you deal with women that are disrespectful. I said it in my old videos, and I'm going to bring it up in this one, that there was a book author, who wrote a book 17 years ago called The Definition on Why Men Love Women When They Act Like Bitches. And the lady was trying to prove in the book that men complain about women being nasty, rude, and disrespectful, but 90% of the time, they keep going after women that are rude and disrespectful, and they keep basing it off the beauty. Oh, she has a big butt, so I'll get with her because she has a big butt. Or she has big breasts. Or she has long legs. Or she got them thighs. Or she a supermodel. Or she a fitness model. Or she's an actress. And the lady is trying to say that most of us are hypocritical because if we complain that this woman is rude, nasty, and disrespectful, why you keep trying to have sex with this woman? Why you keep trying to ask this woman out to lunch and dinner? Why you keep trying to pursue this type of woman? If this type of woman makes your life a living hell, why do you keep pursuing this type of woman? And most of us don't want to admit it to ourselves. We actually like that type of woman. Now, when they say go after a woman that's respectful, we find that boring. We don't see that interesting to us. I mean, all she want to talk about is church. All she want to talk about is the Lord. All she want to do is talk about her job. And all she want to do is talk about how much money she make and how many more jobs they should make in the market. And to us, we be sitting there like, I don't want to hear this for 3 hours. I want to smash. And the girl be interested in conversation, and it goes back to what I said in my other YouTube video, intelligence versus social intelligence. And you see, a lot of men don't like, or they find women that are very intelligent intimidating, and they don't want to mess with those types of females. I've encountered a lot of women with intelligence that are so intelligent that they can make the average man or the above average man so intimidated in a conversation that he gets real quiet like a mouse and doesn't want to talk to the girl no more after that. And that's what I mean by we have fragile egos. This happened to me a couple of times in high school. It's happened to me in college. It's happened to me in the gym. And it even happened to me at work. So every now and then I get a female that's very intelligent. I get my ass kicked and I get silenced. Now, that don't mean you're silenced for the rest of the week. That doesn't mean for 6 months, for a year. Just for that time, you're silenced. But some guys take it so far, I ain't talking to that bitch for 7 months. Or I ain't talking to her for 5 years. You know, they take it to the extremes and shit. And to me, it's like, well, that's because it happened. It happened. Now that you have the experience, you won't have to go through that again. And then you got girls that are so good with social intelligence The guy gets intimidated because he can't believe the girl knows everything about football. She knows everything about basketball, and he can't really school her or teach her nothing about the sport because her answer will be, well, I have a lot of brothers. Translation, disrespectful bitch. Because you can't tell her nothing or show her nothing. Now, does this hurt women? And the answer is yes. In 10 years or in 15, 20 years from now, that has a way of backfiring on a woman. Because if you know so much, then ain't no man gonna want to deal with you if you always feel like you have to always open your mouth and talk smart and talk shit. Then at some point, the man ain't gonna want to deal with you. And by the time these women get like 32, 33, 34, 35, all the way up to 45 years old, they start complaining on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube because don't no man want to talk to no woman that know too much. It's like an old saying that Eric Bischoff said in professional wrestling, WCW versus WWE Monday Night Wars. Too much of a good thing becomes a bad thing. Too much going to the gym, working out, and eventually becomes a bad thing for your health. Too much working to make money and don't want to take a break is a bad thing. Too much trying to have sex can be detrimental to your health. Being obsessed of being rich and famous can be detrimental to your health. Being too sociable at work can get you fired and detrimental to your health. And not socializing and staying to yourself can also be detrimental to your health. So too much of anything can become a bad thing in a certain amount of time. And guess what? Some women, when they do that to the men that they don't find physically, sexually attractive. Problem is, when these women get out of high school and get out of college and go into the real world, or they don't go to college and they just get a career, what happens by the time they get 32, 33, 34, 35, 36 years old, what happens is no man's asking them out to lunch and dinner. No man is talking to them. Because every time a man tries to have a conversation, the man can sense and detect that all she's trying to do is dominate the conversation. She's trying to make it to where he can only talk unless she wants him to talk. And a man be like, ain't no woman gonna tell me how to talk. Fuck this shit. And then the woman ain't got no date. Ain't no one taking her out to lunch and dinner. And then you'll hear a woman say, well, I don't need no man. Fuck you then. And then by the time this woman is 45, you see her trying to be nice to all the men that she, was disrespectful in high school and college and at work, because those guys are now dating women from foreign countries. And these women now are realizing that the reason why they're doing it is because they've had it up to here with the level of disrespect. Now, I'm not saying you ain't got no men that's disrespectful, because I'm probably going to make a YouTube video before women complain and say, hey, how you just going to make a video about women being disrespectful, but you ain't included men? I'm going to get to men in a future video and what the hell that's about. But for this video, I'm explaining to men what the problem is. Now, for the women that are respectful. The women that are respectful, when they reject you, they're going to always give you the explanation on why you've been rejected. They'll say, well, you're just not the type of guy that I like. I mean, the guy I like drives fast motorcycles or drives trucks. He listens to heavy metal music, and he understands me, and he doesn't try to force himself upon me. And that's usually how you get your answer. Now, for a woman that does call you, some guys think that just because women call and text message, there's some respect. Okay, what that's about is her just trying to be nice. Now, women who don't respect you, you'll know. If a woman don't call and don't text message and her phone number's always on restricted ID, there's a good chance she's probably a disrespectful woman. And it ain't just you she doing it to. She might do it to 5 or 10 other men. And there ain't nothing you can do about that. Now, unless you plan on getting a car and trying to be rich and famous, and I'm going to talk about that. Now, about 90% of the time, women who disrespect you, they be the main women trying to chase after you, if you become rich and famous. These be the same women knocking at your door at 1 o'clock in the morning with a jacket on, and when they take the jacket off, they ass butt naked. These be the same women going on Facebook talking shit about you because you know, they don't like you or they hate you or you did something to them in the past. And you know how you can tell? You know how you can tell when she's being disrespectful? When she taunts you. When she makes faces at you. She'll make a face like, you wish you can get this ass, but you can never get this ass. Or you wish you could have me, but you can never have me. And then she keeps doing it and keeps taunting you. And I wish women would stop doing this shit. Because every time you do it to a man, a black man, a white man, a Mexican man, you're actually taking a match out and you're actually igniting, what I mean is you're igniting his competitive fire. And what you're actually going to cause is you're going to make it to where he's going to think he's Sylvester Stallone in the Rocky movies. Everything to him is going to turn into a challenge. And he's going to try to beat you at every single turn. And then what's going to happen is it's going to get to the point where he now has a car. And then your girlfriend going to say, remember the time when he used to take the bus and the train? A lot of times, I'm going to let you on a little secret. Something that the pickup artists and dating coaches won't tell you. You know why some women reject guys flat out? Because if they see you ride the bus or the train, I can disrespect you because you have no value. Oh, you live with your mom and your dad? I'm going to disrespect you. And women will actually do it. And then the things of that nature. If a woman don't ever give you an explanation, if a woman do not explain to you why you've been rejected 5 times, 10, 15, 20 times, she has no respect for you. She don't call your house phone, your cell phone, or she don't text message you. She's disrespectful. If she don't give you an explanation for rejecting you, she's disrespectful. But don't get the game twisted and fucked up. Even though the woman is disrespectful, she is still making you take a shit test. Now, you probably might say, why in the hell would I have to take a shit test if she rejected me 5 or 10 times? Because a woman has something called intuition that somewhere in the future, it could take 10 years, it could take 15, hell, it could take 20 damn years. But she has a feeling that when she push your buttons, because women know which buttons to press, good and bad, they will be able to tell that somewhere in the future, you're going to become the best version of yourself. And think of it as her having to do this to you to prepare you for the next time you encounter a female. Some women have this thing in their head that they have to be your teacher. And when some women decide to take it upon themselves, say, well, I'm going to be your teacher. I'm going to teach you how to figure out how women work. You know, you'll experience it. Now, a woman who does respect men, when she does reject a man, usually she'll say, well, you try too hard. You know, you try everything you can to get me to like you when I don't like you. That's respect. Now, you may not like the fact that a respectful woman rejected you, but guess what? You got your answer. Most men don't even get an explanation from a woman. So that's one. Now,